Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to the Dr. Nick's Amazing Man Stuff YouTube channel. My name is Dan C. Bearden. I am the co-host of this stream, which is titled Doctor's Orders. We're up on 84 weeks in a row, hanging out and celebrating with you guys. And if I feel like we haven't broken this down for a while, if you're like, what is this show all about? Essentially, it is to show you guys what's going on with this company with long-form transparency. Social media posts are fantastic. Emails are great. All these things are wonderful. But I really feel like it takes it a step further when you get to know this company. You get to hear from the people that are actually behind the scenes, and you get to learn about them personally. You get to learn about the business and what's going on and just how they conduct themselves on a day-to-day basis. And you guys add into this with your questions, with your topics, and just with all the comments that you give in the chat. So we highly encourage you guys to consider getting involved in the chat, or if you just watch podcast style and listen, that's okay. And if you come back in the future to watch the replay, we really appreciate comments. It's good to hear from other people that can make it live, and YouTube loves to see activities on videos. And this channel is growing and is just a beautiful thing. We should, in the next couple of days or so, week, who knows how long, but we should be able to hit 1.1K and then just keep growing from there. Boom. But I would like to welcome the co-host. This man's got an ever-changing, busy schedule in life. He is looking like a magician, juggling different activities, different roles, different just aspects of life while getting ready for the spring. I don't know how it is with your guys' weather, but we'll have to touch on that. But please, help me welcome your reigning, defending U.S. National Beard Champion, Mr. Nick Phelps, a.k.a. the Doctor himself.
Please. It's too much. It's too much.
Camera's down, guys. Okay. That's enough.
Okay,
That's enough there.
The flashes really get right in the eyes, whenever it's just so, they're so close. Oh, man.
How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Jill and I are just holding it down because it's everything, everywhere, all at once. We'll get into why, just so everyone can kind of know what's up. But man, no, doing good. It's 50 outside, and I'm in short sleeves that I did not need to have under a jacket. So that's super positive. I mean, things are really looking up in that regard.
Unreal. Dude. And ours today, I think we just hit our record for the day. It is, my computer's giving me a different number, but I'm going to go by my watch. 71 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, mine says, holy crap. Yeah, mine says 62.
Mm-hmm. It is beautiful.
Ooh, I'm wondering why we're not doing outside streams today. We should have laptops, picnic benches, and that kind of thing going on.
Yes, I can make that happen. That there's no doubt. I got a deck. I got a little area. Our trees are starting to bloom and blossom. The sun is out. The birds are all chirping. We had a bunny run out in front of us in the driveway this morning. Like, it's absolutely amazing. And 71 in early to mid-April in Michigan. Come on.
That's fantastic, dude. 70 degrees has got to be my favorite temperature just in general. It's like one of those neutral, temperatures where like it's not hot, it's not cool. Like you just literally can't feel the air,
yes. You aren't worried about being too sweaty, but you also don't have to have extra layers.
Right.
Stop
it's
it.
Literally the best. Like the only place I've ever been close to living that is like that year round is somewhere where I would never live. But it's like San Diego County, California. Like It literally rarely gets below 60, rarely gets above 85. And you know what I mean? Like you're usually in that like 65, 75 pocket. And it's just so nice. It would almost make me not care about taxes and politics enough to live there. But unfortunately, I care too much about taxes and politics to live there.
Yeah, that is very, very, very true. The other ones that are close seem to all come with like daily rain. Pacific Northwest, England. It's like you get that temperature range, but you got to deal with the rain and like the aspects that come with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're either dealing with drama, people, or weather. Because here's the problem. When places have weather like that, we're not the only ones that know it has weather like that. Right? So people end up just killing it by everyone flocks there. And the next thing you know, too many damn people and all the things that come with it.
Yeah. What is the like average year? Is it seasonally? Hawaii, because you lived there for a while. What's that temperature like?
It's between 75 and 85 all year long and windy. And
Oh,
then in the
windy. Okay.
winter, yeah, that's one thing people actually don't realize
I didn't
about
know that.
Hawaii is the trade winds.
Huh.
Because the trade winds move through the Pacific Ocean, and obviously go right past Hawaii. The air is never still in Hawaii. There's
Interesting.
always at least a breeze, if not windy. So
Really?
yeah, yeah. So like some people don't realize it. Like I had a friend who used to live somewhere outside of LA County, and there's like these winds that kick up sometimes where she was. They were like the Santa Ana winds or something like that. Maybe someone can correct me if you guys know, but
Sounds right.
yeah, it's like the Santa Ana winds, something like that. And it used to actually drive people crazy. It was like seasonal, affectation disorder or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like it was kind of like that. And my friend went out to Hawaii, and he's like, dude, he's like, it brought back such terrible memories of being with the constant wind. He's like, man, how did you deal with that? I'm like, man. I'm like, you're the first person to ever come back from Hawaii and complain about it being windy, like as the
Right.
downfall.
Right.
But
Now,
it gets to some people.
is it something you notice living there?
It's weird. Like I didn't actually notice until someone said something, and I was
Huh.
like, you know what? Now they mentioned it. I have not been outside without wind blowing ever since I moved here. And they're like, yep, and you won't.
Interesting. We live in a wind belt in the part of Michigan that we're in because of the
Oh
Great
yeah.
Lakes surrounding us and all that.
Hmm.
So we're constant, and it's very common to have 40 to 50 mile per hour wind and gusts. And so it's like everybody bases their exterior of their house and all the things you have based on strong wind. So we're used to that, but there are days where it's still. We don't have every day.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Yeah, but it's but it's humid as hell, right? So I mean, like growing up out there, it's interesting because like if it's warm out, if it's like 80, if it's in the 80s, 85, most places in Hawaii don't have air conditioning. If it was built in the anytime before like 2010, things didn't really have air conditioning,
Yeah.
and so yeah, and so it's like you'll have fans, and most of the windows are like the slat glass windows, like the little louvers. That's
Yep.
like most of your windows in Hawaii on houses that aren't modern ones are all kind of louver based windows. So like they
Hmm.
don't seal. So you're not really keeping anything in or out.
Yeah.
But
And
like
by
you
the
get out of
way,
the shower in the summer and it's like humid in your bathroom and
yeah.
you open the bathroom door and it's like no different in your living room. You're like,
Oh, I need relief. I need relief. And I do have to say, you have cracked the $10 word of the day. Louvers. That's not common. That doesn't get used daily.
no, do and or unless people if anyone watching from New England might not know what vernacular I was using there.
Right.
But I louvers. That's what I was saying. Louvers, like in
Oh,
the back of your IROC Camaro, dude. The one you had back in the 90s with like the B&M hammer shifter. It's wicked decent, dude. And you got the black louvers in the back, like a Monte Carlo SS or something, kid. Oh,
dude.
dude.
Again, funny timing. I have not shared in a while your amazing like commercial reel. Shared it last night. And it's with that Boston voice. It gets me every time.
I have a terrible fake Boston accent. I think it's like just a little better than Ben Affleck's fake Boston accent, because his is real bad. Like watch The Town. It's just like it's cringy. But
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies ever. I love that movie.
I love that movie too, but his accent's so bad. Now I'm gonna leave this town in my rear view mirror. And it's like he sounds like a Kennedy. Like he has like a Kennedy
Oh,
accent. Like
that's a good call.
I'm expecting him to say like era, like in between his words, and it'd be like, "Is somebody get me a Tom Collins? My glass is empty." Like
Oh,
he's
that's
got
so
such a
good.
Kennedy accent. It cracks me
And
up,
Chris kicking in, of course, with the Boston East Coast accent too.
dude. I rock kid,
And oh snap, man, Ryan, how you doing, dude? It's been a minute.
dude. Ryan,
Good to hear from you, man. I
what
hope
is
all's
going
well.
on, man? Great to have you. I hope everything is going well and things are settling down and making sense.
Yeah, he is in the Dr. Nick's Hall of Fame because I believe he is the very first remote guest we've had on this live stream on this channel was
Yep,
Ryan.
he was. He was the
That's so
first
cool.
non-studio guest.
Yeah, so dang cool. And Leo says the Santa Ana winds are strong, hot, and dry.
Yep. There we go. Santa Ana wins.
Are you ready for the best strange compliment you've ever received?
Always.
Okay. Kind of nice, reliably finding you guys every Tuesday, like meatloaf special at Cracker Barrel.
Oh man, listen. That is one of the best compliments I think I've ever gotten, because if I could ever do anything in life that would put me at the same adjacency of awesomeness as Cracker Barrel meatloaf, like we're doing something right.
Yeah, that's never been called meatloaf in my life in such a nice way.
Yeah, like I've been like, hey meatloaf, or
Yeah.
like something like
Get
that.
off the couch, meatloaf. All right, geez, Nick.
Jeez,
Sorry.
all right, fine.
And Leo says, when the Spanish settled Los Angeles, they angled their buildings for the wind, so the city's streets aren't north, south, east, west. Wow. I did not know that. That's so it's that prevalent where they changed the roads and the buildings. Interesting.
That is a trip, isn't it? And someone was showing me like this thing. It was like weird architecture of LA. And there was this guy. The documentary, I think, was about the guy who, like, one of the guys that like founded the Satanic Church or something. He was an architect that worked for the city, and he was involved in a lot of the city planning. And he, unbeknownst to a bunch of people inside, like the way he arranged parks and all sorts of stuff in LA, like built all kinds of like ritualistic geometry into like the layout of different like city parks and little sidewalks and roadways and stuff. And in that documentary, they talked about why everything was, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest, that whole thing.
Interesting. And Ryan, congratulations, man. He's a new dad.
New dad life is absolutely wild. Dude, yeah, new dad life is wild. I bet, you could be right now, you could be getting ready to go to bed. You could be catching us at like the end of your shift here. We don't know what part of dad life you're in, because clocks stopped making sense for a while there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it just doesn't matter. There's no relevance.
No, because the little human that is consuming all of your attention has no concept of time.
Especially if they flip it. Those are fun ones.
Oh yeah, dear God, where all of a sudden they're like, I'm nocturnal.
Yeah, I like to party at night, and I shall grant you sleep during the day.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
All right. And Fitzroy says he's been living in Texas for 26 years, and he's in the Houston area, and Houston is very distinct with their dialect and their language and the way they talk. Very distinct. I'm actually obsessed with Houston rap and Houston, just the interactions. And he says people still say he sounds like a New Yorker after 26 years.
Dude, I had never been I think I at this point, when I moved to Georgia, I had lived up north once for like 2 years. And like they found that out. And that's the first time I ever even knew like what people in the South referred to as a Yankee was. And apparently it was me, because like I had lived up north one time. Like I was a Yankee. Like, we're making barbecue sauce. Get out of the kitchen, Yankee.
You're like, dude, did that grow up
I've lived south of the Mason-Dixon more than I haven't. And they're like, don't care, traitor. Get out of here.
Hilarious. You drank the tap water. You're a Yankee.
Yeah, done. Yep.
And listen to this one. G Squared checking in. We're in a combo of peppermint rosemary and the smoky 21.
Oh, you stop it.
Jill's like, I got to try this in the office.
Oh, I'm trying it.
Interesting. And Brett, we are actually going to dedicate the stream next week to the mystery oils, but you're tuning in here early. I love this. He said he got mystery oil A in the mail today. Today, lavender, rosemary, citrus, but who knows what it really is, he said, but it's a winner in his book.
Oh, dude. So he got A. I just used up my A the other day.
Yeah.
I'm all out of C. I think C was my favorite so far.
I text Jill for me. I think it was B or C that's my favorite so far.
It's got to be one of those. Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh, so speaking of peppermint rosemary, real quick, I just had to do this. And you guys just let me know if I need to publicly expose this person's name. Actually, you can go do it yourself, because as everyone knows, I don't delete reviews. And so everyone can go harass this person publicly if they feel like. I got the best review ever for you guys. Okay, ready? I'm going to read it here, and you just tell me. Just tell me what you guys think of the seriousness here. Okay, so growth stimulator oil. Okay. Came in on Saturday. This is what I woke up to Saturday morning. And it's a 1-star review for growth stimulator oil. And it says, and I quote, "Waste" is the title of the review. And it says, "It's a big waste of time. It makes beard turn color and waste of step in my routine. I should have listened to the other YouTube review. Doesn't smell like anything. No peppermint or rosemary, just orange Kool-Aid." Now, when Jill bottles our growth stem, like, I know she's bottling growth stem that day because I can walk in the front door of our 8,600 square foot building and I can smell it like right in the nose, because that stuff, when it's bottling and it gets in the air, man, you can smell it. So I think someone has a broken smell box, or maybe someone's just out to have a little fun with us in our review system. I'm not really sure.
I mean, you guys literally created peppermint rosemary because of people like me and others in the chat that were like, "This growth stem smells so amazing, but can I please have it in normal oil?" And you did, because the growth stem scent was so loved. So loved. And all right, scents are subjective, but what? Fleece, who I do need to preface Fleece here. I love this comment by him. He says, "I'm a reformed troll doing my best to pay y'all a compliment." I love that. Like, you have no idea how much I love that awareness and that step forward.
That's a fantastic comment.
It's a great comment. And he is super positive and super supportive on Facebook, on YouTube, and everything. I really enjoy this guy's interactions. And he says, "Not true. I found the scent quite appealing and potent." And yeah, so this is true. So Jill, there's an act. You guys can look it up. Do a little Goog if you want. There was a wonderful correlation with peaks and rises in COVID during the COVID days, right? And the way that they were able to anticipate the new wave of a new version of COVID, or a new like push of COVID, was Yankee Candle refunds. And that's no joke. Look up Yankee Candle COVID. I bet you can find some articles. They started to have people return these candles at shocking rates. And then they figured out, oh my gosh, they have COVID and don't realize it. And then boom, there would be a huge spike in COVID, and then it would calm down again. And I watched the video, and they put them side by side, the COVID like peaks and valleys, and then the Yankee Candle like customer complaints, customer returns. It was identical. It was identical.
Dude,
so
that's
Jill,
a trip, isn't it?
Yeah, I know that's a little bit facetious, a little bit joking, but it's true. Like, there's really something to that. Yeah, there is something to that.
Oh, for sure. And I sounds like a frustrated fiction writer. What was the downside about being so closely attached to everything you do?
Yeah.
Things like that can actually, like, for me, I ingest it one way. Jill in production obviously internalizes it a different way. And she literally, like, when we were going out to breakfast the next day, she's like, "We need to stop by the office first." She's like, "I need to go smell some sample bottles out of that last batch of growth stem." And I'm like, "It's fine. I'm sure, but okay, we'll stop in." And she went, and of course, and grabbed the batch from where that guy had a shipment, smelled them. They smelled very strongly of peppermint rosemary, of course.
Yeah.
That's what's in it.
So as someone that does not own a beard products company, does not have any ownership in any beard product companies, does not have any of that, but I work with a lot of owners. It's tough because everybody wants the positive aspects of a mom and pop shop. They want the handcrafted. They want the access to talk to the owner any gosh dang time they want. They want to feel special. They want all of those benefits of a lifestyle brand, a mom and pop shop brand. But they also want all of the benefits of an Amazon when it comes to delivery, when it comes to returns, when it comes to reviews. And you're picking the aspects of business that you want and not having any perspective. And I only say that because I do talk with owners like Nick and like Chris in the chat and Joe at Beard Octane and all these things. And I see these emails, I see these reviews. These owners, man, they care. They really care. When you guys give them like real encouraging feedback, you probably don't have any idea how motivating that is and what that does for a company that's just busting their butts to make the best thing they can and to help the most people they can. And you get these reviews, and the ones that sting the most, and it's really hard to shake, are the ones that feel that they're not fair or accurate. If there's an issue with something, these owners really care and go above and beyond to show the credibility of Dr. Nick's. And there's no plans here, guys. Like, this wasn't even planned on. If you take a look at the reviews on the Grow Stim Oil, you can click the 1-star reviews and look at them and sort them out. To Nick and Jill's credit, they didn't delete these. Now, you can judge for yourself if you think they're fair, if you think that it's a place to be able to share this. But to give you, right, we just read one of them, a 1-star review because they didn't get it yet, period. That was the review. Another one is 14 days later, still nothing. Again, we've had 2 streams dedicated to the shipping delays and the shipping problems. We understand the frustration on the consumer side. You paid for something, you're excited, you want to receive it, but at the same time, did you pay for the shipping that wasn't guaranteed? At the same time, did you reach out to the company and have a conversation about how you can resolve it? Or is it a 1-star review based on the shipping company, based on the carrier?
And sometimes if it's a review based on shipping, because I do want people to get like an accurate account of like the product.
Yes.
Once in a while, I will reply back to those and say, thanks for the feedback on the shipping. However, this was a review request for the product. So if you'd like to leave another review for the product, please go ahead, and I'll remove the review for like the shipping company once in a while.
Yeah.
But that's the only review I'll ever leave. If it's like clearly a troll, or if it's like literally a 1-star review because USPS screwed up. But oh God, this one at the bottom though, I actually remember that person so well.
And the thing with that, I do too, right? So I'll read it, you guys, and then just to give perspective, because we only see the reviews.
Right.
And it says, terrible customer service. Now, keep that in mind. That's the title, terrible customer service. My box arrived damaged with 1 oil stolen. Okay. Nick's wife reduced refund or replacement only because she didn't believe how it happened. So there's a refund, there's an action in here that was trying to be taken. And then Nick said that they have the right to refuse service to anybody. Terrible company. Now, if I'm somebody that's completely outside of this and I'm looking in here, my first thought would be, is there more to this story? Is there something? Because that sounds very strange, and I don't see Nick escalate like that often. There's got to be something more to this story. And these are, again, those reviews that it's like, is there anything on here where it's like, hey, this was low quality, it made me break out, I have this stuff, right? The only one that you can be like, okay, is it said stained my skin, immediately throwing it out. We've covered that. It's not permanent. It will rinse right out. I don't care if it's a white beard, a gray beard, pale skin, like that's been covered, but okay. But again, like is there more to the story? And I just know how difficult it is to have this feedback out there. And as an owner that cares, that goes above and beyond in every situation, you guys can see 5 to 10 situations a day where Nick and Jill are going in and saying, hey, I'm so sorry. Let's duplicate your order. And once you get both of them, because I think it's going to get there, just pass it on to a friend. Hey, let me go ahead and refund you. We're so sorry that this happened. So professional, so caring. And then you get those ones where it's just like, you just want to scream. And man, there's a TikTok that went viral yesterday, and it's this small business owner girl, and she's on the phone. It's like 9:30 at night, and she puts it on speakerphone, and it's this old lady that is just berating her. And she's essentially the business owner's like, ma'am, I've done everything I can at this point. I'm not able to help you out. And the lady's response was, don't you know I'm the one with the money? Don't you know I'm the one that pays you? And it's just going on. And it was like, almost like the whole world came together and was like, I feel for you. I feel for small business owners. And I'm sorry you have to deal with crap like that. This is a version of that. It just is.
Dude, it is. And it's so crazy too, because, it's like, and allergies make me cringe. Yeah. And that's the thing. When I'm reading reviews too, like I go through and read reviews, and the way I read them is different now after like reading, my own reviews. So like when I go read a review on Amazon and it's like 1 star, product arrived damaged. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't actually care about that because hopefully mine won't. So
Right. That's kind of not relative to the review. Like, that's so frustrating. And every interaction, you guys, I can promise, you guys know me. I don't say stuff just to say it. Nick and Jill care about every interaction. There's nothing that's just pushed to the side. There's nothing. I don't care if there's family illness. I don't care if there's busy work schedule. They're going to do their best to take care of every single person. And so, yeah, those ones sting. And Nick like reached out to me. He's like, have you heard that, they're listening. They're like, hey, is there something with the growth oil we should know? And then it's like, okay, probably not. There's definitely more to this story as well.
Oh, well, yeah. And I mean, and then you go and you look at like the order, for example, and it's like it's the first order. The name on the customer record and their billing and shipping name is different than the name they used on the review.
Yeah.
And it's like they use an alias. They order one thing and then leave a review like that. Like literally, it looks like their package landed and they actually left the review like less than 24 hours later.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like,
real try. Yeah. And that stuff happens, and it's actually kind of crazy transition here because today is all about that growth stem oil. Like this was set over a week ago on the topic. That review came in within that time, and we didn't even like say, hey, we're going to discuss this review. It just is like perfect. So for those of you that have tried the growth stem oil, honest, fair, open. Hopefully it's not about shipping. Hopefully it's not about other things, but your experiences. And I do want to show off 2 posts that demonstrate this so far. We do have another one from Dan B that's that I know Jill has, and we'll be getting that all posted and stuff in the future. But to begin here, if you guys ever want to check out the Dr. Nick's Instagram page, they got a really good one. I'll post that in the chat right now. To give them a follow is 100% for free. You can learn about deals. Sometimes there's fun behind the scenes stuff and all this. But to begin here, we first have Philip, who is a big fan, big proponent of Dr. Nick's, and he shows his progress here. Now, of course, if I was looking at this from a skeptic, it'd be like, oh, he let his beard grow, right? That's great. He is adamant about the differences that take place under his lower lip, where when he started using that, he had really big openings. And in the time of using that growth oil, he first started to see the hairs really small. Then he started to see them get longer and stronger, and then they even filled out with color, and he has it completely around his lower lip. Also, if you look at where his mustache ends and the cheeks are, those cheeks were low. That was natural. That was not shaving. That was not trimming.
You can see. I mean, it actually dips down and then goes back a little bit, like a little check mark almost.
Straight up. And then so once he did that, it started filling in the cheeks. Look at his cheek on the far right picture. It's above his mustache.
Dude, that's a huge difference.
Yep.
I mean, that's a gigantic difference, man.
And that's real. He sent these in. This was from him. So happy you wanted to show it off. And then I don't know if Billy's in the chat right now, but Billy, same thing, same spots.
With the chin.
Yes.
And the cheeks.
Look at from the bottom right. That final picture there, his chin as compared to the left, insane.
Dude, I mean, that's night and day.
Yeah, it really is so cool. Now, as always, from the beginning, nothing's guaranteed. This is not pitched as a miracle product. This is not pitched as like Rogaine for chia pets. It just gives you a scientific chance to wake up dormant hair follicles, and these guys are proving it. Yep, proving it. And it's really cool. And then you get people like OG Fitzroy, whose first order's on the way, says, my chin's like that. Kind of cool. And then, Billy, too. And I didn't even realize far right, he's rocking the hat and the hoodie. That looks sick.
Hell yeah.
That looks sick. So,
You know, the hat definitely makes the beard look a little better too, but I'm guessing it's mostly the growth stem.
Both provided by Dr. Nix.
That's right.
So if you guys have any feedback, if you have anything, I just kind of want to show these off. I kind of wanted to have a video where it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, but we also wanted it on the YouTube side of things as well. And literally the perfect time for questions, you guys. The perfect time for questions, such as Caden says, can the growth oil be used in place of daily beard oil? Nick, your thoughts on that?
So, you know, it could, right? I mean, it's a high viscosity oil, right? So it's much thicker than our typical oil. And, you know, for me, it'd be too heavy for me to use like throughout my entire beard on a daily basis. I'm not sure I'd like the weight. You know, I like more of a medium to light oil. But you know, there are people. Heck, there's people here in the chat who have used it multiple times as their full beard oil for a day.
G Squared, I believe.
G Squared was a huge fan of that. He likes thick oil and he likes using the growth stem. So yeah, ask me about it. Done it multiple times. It works for me. So yeah, dead on, man. And so if you like a heavier oil, there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that.
Yep, there's no problem. It is intended for the skin because that's where the growth happens. But if you take a look at the ingredients, these are all amazing ingredients for hair as well. So there's no issues. Just don't overuse it. If you're using a thicker kind of sealing coating type oil, it's much easier to get those pores clogged by using too much. So you want to kind of go easy and just know, you guys, yeah, just know that it is a situation where if you do have a white, silver, gray beard, that it will tint the hair where you apply it until it's rinsed out. That's about as simple as it is. Dan, did you get a new mic or set up differently? You sound low, kind of muffled. No, it shouldn't be. Nick sounds good. Just wondering. Yeah, I'll bump mine up. Thank you for the feedback. So that's somebody asked earlier, and they said that your voice was off. We're dancing here, so no, just the world, you know. All right, and I use it as an oil for. Oh, nice. Corey uses it as an oil for his.
Oh, nice.
Really cool. Then Dennis, he said, I've been using the Grow Stim for a week and I can see anything different. I'm only going to give this a 1-star review after 1 week.
Perfect, Dennis. I'd like you to hand deliver that 1-star review to me, please.
Yeah. You'll put it on the window.
Yeah. I'd like you to write it down and I want you to hand it to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you recommend using the Grow Stim oil in the morning or at night?
We recommend using it at night, and that is when I use it.
Yeah.
Because I like to put it on the skin, you know, and my thing too with it that I guess one of the reasons I like using it at night, which isn't one of the reasons that we really talk about, I guess, is that since it is made for the skin and it's really made for the parts of the skin that have some bare spots that you're trying to fill in, you know, I don't like having any shininess or, you know, oiliness to my skin that's visible in, you know, during the day. So if you were using it throughout your beard, I'd say either is probably fine. But if you're using it as intended to hit the follicle and hit the skin and stay on the skin, you know, I like it at night. So you can rub it in. And if it looks a little oily on your skin, who cares, right? It's nighttime. You're going to bed. And then you shower, you know, rinse it off in the morning with your face wash and your beard wash. So I definitely recommend using it at night.
Yeah, great question. Mark, I appreciate that. That just made me think of a video idea, not that question, but something related. So, dude, thank you. That was very helpful. Yeah, very, very helpful.
Yeah. And my mom on here, she had great luck with her eyebrows. She filled in tons of sparse eyebrow spots with the growth stem, and she had a bunch of other things she was trying with no luck.
Yeah, if she ever has any pictures and feels comfortable sending it in, that'd be really cool to post to show the female side of it, the eyebrow side of it. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that'd be awesome if she could send some in. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. JT Steve says he uses it at the end of the day if he takes a second shower and he mixes it 50-50 with number 7. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
That probably smells really good too.
Mm-hmm. And Jill says, after multiple tests, there should be no residual staining unless you recently bleached your beard, in which cause, yeah, your beard hairs are now destroyed. If you bleached your beard,
you might have broke it.
Yeah, don't do that. So
yeah, don't do it. If you bleached your beard, don't do it again. And if you're thinking about it, you know, don't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And David says, Nick, received my mystery A oil. Thanks for the great fast shipping. And my luck, we have a cold and can't smell a thing. So leave a review saying that there's no
One-star review
scent.
right there. It doesn't smell like anything.
One cent here. So yeah, 1 cent. All right. What's the verdict on Grow Stim oil? So I actually like this question, Nick. If you don't mind, I'm going to pose it to you. Since this has been released, about 9 months or so, if you had to summarize to a buddy, let's say it was an investor, Dr. Nix is not looking for investment, nothing like that. And they were like, hey, you got a good sample size now. What is your verdict on the Grow Stim oil?
I mean, I think it's been a resounding success, right? I mean, it's something that we released like we usually do, where it was something that people were asking for, and it wasn't something that we just decided to go out and do. And if you look overall, right, even with those 1-star shipping reviews, right, we have an average of 4.2 out of 5 stars on it. People like it. It works. So as far as the community feedback has been, it works and they like it. And now these are from people who are expecting, I think, realistic results, right? They know that it's a 90-day to 6-month kind of a return window that you have on this stuff. And it's not, it's not gonna all of a sudden sprout hair out of your forehead if you stick your finger on there accidentally, right? It's not gonna make hair grow where hair doesn't grow. But for the people who are using it as intended, using it on the skin, using it at night, using it consistently, and they're using it on places that probably have dormant hair follicles, they've had really good results. Our family has had great results. I've had good results. So overall, I think it's a great success. I love it. And I'm glad we did it. And I think there's a lot of people out there who are really glad we did it.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. I agree. Butter after the stim oil. Yeah. I mean, as long as you let it absorb in and do its job first, I recommend 3 to 5 minutes. There's nothing wrong with putting that butter. Just as always with butter, try to avoid the skin. You don't want to clog those pores or trap the oil. But as long as you keep it to the hair, it's actually, for a lot of people, an ideal routine. You're at night, you have a wet, damp beard, you apply the growth oil to the skin, kind of leaving the hair alone in this situation, and then you apply the butter to the hair. Now you have nourished hair, you have developing skin, and you just got a beautiful way to go to bed. So yeah, that can be an ideal situation.
Absolutely, dude. That's exactly what I do. I let it sit. Can you thicken up knuckle hair with this stem oil? I don't know. I'd love to see some before and after attempts, get them hairy knuckles.
I was going to say, I've been testing it on my toes, and then you said before and after pictures, and now I exited the chat. No more.
Yeah. Yep. And exit stage right.
Jeffrey says, after a shower, I will massage it into my neckline and comb it from behind. I've noticed thickening in my neckline since I've been using it for at least the last 6 months. And that's a spot that we should probably talk more about because we visually see the underlip. We visually see the cheeks. We visually see patches. Arguably, even more important is that underbeard, but we just don't see it. But as a result, we see the lack of density. We see the lack of shape, the lack of those supporting actors. If you can build that up, that's doing something massive for your beard. And I'm guilty of not thinking about that much. So Jeffrey, thank you, man. That's an amazing comment.
Yeah. And that's something, a lot of people really overlook is I made mistakes for a long ass time with the under beard, with the neckline. I didn't understand, cause you see yourself from the front, you don't see the side profile. Like when you're looking in the mirror. And that is where you will notice it, in addition to the density and reduction of transparency. But I mean, I used to shave mine up way higher than it is now. And right now, is it as clean as it always is? No, once in a while I trim down onto the neck a little further down just to kind of keep it trimmed up. And once it's summertime and it's tank top weather, I'm always trimming the neck and making sure I don't have the connector between chest hair and neck hair. Cause I think that's a bad look.
This guy, I got it.
Yep. Oh yeah. Nope. Yeah, I got it, dude. That right there with you. And as soon as it hits summer, you're like, all right, I'm gonna hit that real quick.
Dude, not me. I'm so pale that if I don't have that color, my beard becomes more transparent. And when I have it, it's a gosh dang backboard for density for my beard. It's
Oh,
crucial for me. I'm not kidding you. When I've done that before and it was like, meow, you can see right through my beard. And now I just leave it.
really?
Yeah, I'm that pale underneath this beard.
Dude, so you need the Austin Powers, chest quilt to kind of add a little density of color back there.
It would work. Yeah, it would work. There's no doubt about that, man. That's
Yeah,
so
well, I
funny.
mean, when you're one of the people like I am that needs like SPF Elmers when you go outside in the summer, it's like I look like a roll of tinfoil walking down the beach. I'm so white, I'm almost reflective.
You're the dude that has like the chalky like sunscreen that doesn't absorb in, and you just walk by and it's like, Mom, do I need to wear this?
Yeah.
She's slathering on. Yes, you
Listen,
do.
everyone always gives me crap about my bullfrog nose cover and my swimmies, but listen,
I
safety
love that.
first.
No, I'm in like the best shape of my life right now, but I still wear a full sun guard when I go because I don't care about being tan. That's not a priority of mine in any way, shape, or form. I just don't want to be sunburned. I absolutely hate being sunburned. I'm not like self-conscious about my body or insecure or anything like that. I just really love not having to worry about my whole upper body other than my face not being sunburned.
I do it a lot, honestly, just because of like chest and back and arm tattoos. Like I don't necessarily want to reapply constantly and fade out ink and stuff. So I wear rash guards quite a bit just to keep like the SPF based, not like rash guards, but it's like the, like the fishing, like the SPF, like fishing shirts, like the nylon-y ones.
Yeah. I love those ones. I have those for hiking and all that stuff. So,
Oh, they're great.
And you were talking about your neckline and how it was higher and higher and higher. It's often because there's so many barbers that go to that. And that's what they establish. And if you go to get your early beard trims, you go to the wrong barber. They establish it there. That's all you know. And you're like, oh, man. And then the barber loves it because it's a crispy picture. They get that little side angle. They get this and they get to show it online. And then you just don't even really realize you're jeopardizing your goals. And it just becomes so normal. It's one of the biggest mistakes when growing a beard is bringing that neckline up too high.
Mm-hmm. It is. And it's a slippery slope with everything that you trim. You know what I mean? Like, it's every part. It's the neckline. It's the top of the chest line. It's like I get super long chest hair. So sometimes like in the summer, I'll use like a trimmer and I'll just like shorten it a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's like it's still there and you don't have like the prickly shaved chest thing going on.
Yep. I did that for Universal.
Yeah, like I can't do that. I don't like the prickly, like your shirt. I've tried it before and like my shirt sticks to my chest like Velcro after a day.
And it itches and stuff.
Oh, and you get the bumps. No. And thankfully the world has gone to a place now where chest hair has now come full circle back like to the 70s where it's manly and people are seeing it as not something you have to get rid of anymore like it was, in like the early 2000s probably.
Yep.
Now we just gotta, so guys like me and George and you, now we just gotta wait for back hair to catch up and be sexy again. Like we need to bring sexy back to the back hair.
So dang true. I went too short once, probably last year. I come out, Sam said, "What the hell did you do?" And I'm like, getting ready for vacation. I'm just trying to look, sleek and stuff. She was like, "Never again."
She's like, "Don't do that.
Yeah, you need to keep it." And then, do you want to know how I know when my shoulder, my chest, and my back hair is getting too long? I have an actual test that I do. My shirt, guys, I'm a hairy man. Shocker, right? Crazy. My hair grows really fast. And the way I know is my shirts start to fit differently. My shoulders will start puffing out. My chest will start puffing out and make me look like I'm fatter than I am. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I'll get an inch of like cushion. It's like, and I'm like, okay, I need to take this down a notch.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of the memory foam layer.
Yeah, pretty much. Good for fights, bad for looks.
Yeah. Yep.
And Mr. Leonardo says, I noticed an area in my stash that isn't as dense as the other side. Would grow stim oil benefit me? Any side effects I should keep in mind besides looking like Yosemite Sam?
I mean, not that I could think of. I use it on my mustache. And I wouldn't say that you'd spot treat just one side either, right? I would just do both and just treat the whole thing. And hopefully what will happen is hair follicles are clogged, maybe they're just gummed up, maybe whatever, they're stunted for whatever reason. Hopefully it'll help those pick up, and it'll just kind of like cleanse the whole area and encourage it the same way, right?
Yep.
So
Oftentimes,
I wouldn't be worried about putting it on both sides, though. I can tell that's kind of what you were thinking. I wouldn't worry about that.
yeah, no, I agree. Sometimes when you have something like that, there was some little weird skin trauma that you had as a child. You got hit by a baseball bat or somebody threw a rock at you. And
Maybe
those
you
hair
ate a real
follicles,
hot piece of bacon and it burned a spot on your upper lip.
for real, yeah,
You
like
know,
actual, yeah.
yeah,
And
that can happen.
yeah, the hairs become dormant. They don't die. They don't go away. They just go under the surface and they're like, I'm cool here, because that the skin isn't, essentially it can make the pores smaller. It can make the follicle lower. And when you get this stuff, it goes in there and like kind of wakes it all up and it allows it to come back. Yeah, yours would be an example of exactly the type of person that should be. If somebody has no facial hair or somebody has a very weak, very sparse beard, this product is not intended for you.
No.
It is not going to make an 18-year-old with sparse facial hair grow into Nick's beard. It's just not. It's not advertised that way. It's not meant to be that way. It's for people that are like, hey, I've got this spot that doesn't quite make sense. There's a good chance you have dormant hair follicles. So yeah, you're exactly who I think this could go for.
Yep.
And Leo says, need to realize that a higher neckline is good to keep stubble looking intentional. Then it should keep a pace with length. And when I talk about trims, even if you go to my like scuba, don't do the scuba trim, I always talk about it's just simply relative to your goal. Do not do the scuba trim, aka the God of War, aka the Kratos, aka the angular beard, if your goal is to have a beard like me or Nick. If you want to maintain his beard, then of course do that one. If you want to have a short beard, you definitely need to have a higher neckline. You don't want to have a neckline down to your Adam's apple if you have a short stubble beard. That's not a good look.
No.
So yes, it's all relative to your goals. Good point.
Yeah, I mean that's it. It is very, very relative, and I think
Yep.
I kept my beard short for a long time. But just like OG, I thought that like because you look at some of those, like when you're looking at beard style guides, and you're like early on in the beard journey, and you're like, what do I want my beard to look like? You know, you're going through those. There's not many of those guides or videos that have like a long beard as an example. Like
Never.
there isn't. Like you get the different short styles. That's what you get. You get this, you get that, you get the angle, you get this one, right? You get the whole thing. But you don't. And then when you see those, like they all have necklines like up to here, right? They're high because you can see the neckline from the side when it comes down to a point in the front, kind of a thing, right?
Yep.
And that's, if that's not what you're going for, or you want extra length, there's not many things out there that tell you like what to do early on growing a beard if you want to grow a long one.
Right.
There's lots of things about how to cut and trim your beard to look like different styles, but there's not much out there that say like, hey, if you want to go from here to here, like here's the things you should avoid doing between those 2 points, right?
Yeah. And there's even more to the reasons why that stuff isn't out there. On one side, you have some prominent male grooming YouTubers that have those shorter beards, that make content for those shorter beards. Why? Because the viewing market is much, much, much larger on YouTube for 18 to 25-year-olds as compared to 25 to 75, which is more so my market, where 18 to 25-year-olds generally don't have beards like this. So what do? They cater the content to younger kids. They cater the content to young adults, and you have this short guy with a short beard screaming at the camera saying, get your neckline up here. And then let's take it a step further. Think about the term neck beard.
Yeah.
That is not a positive association. The stigma of a neck beard is an insult. And so people, what is a neck beard though? Who made those rules? Who made that definition? And if you look like, yeah, me and Nick have beards on our neck, absolutely, but it's not a neck beard. And so when somebody goes to the barber, it's very common to be like, I don't want a neck beard, like clean up the neck beard. And then a step further, what are the guides that you see online? They're usually companies like GQ. Yep. GQ is going to be catering towards that younger audience as well. And that, man, and this is just my experience and my opinions, GQ just released their best beard oil. And it kills me to see those lists. And they'll do their top one of the year, but they just did their best beard oil, number one. And the lists and stuff, it kills me because people don't realize it is a pay to play. And I'm
They're
not
all pay to play. No one's on that list that didn't pay. And
It's
also, they didn't
impossible.
pick who's at the top of that list. It's just the person that paid the most.
And
Like, I get those emails all the time. I get GQ London reaching out
you
to
want
me
a
like,
discount? You want the UK GQ? You can pay half price.
oh yeah, that's what it is.
Yep. And so it is a bummer, and it's those same guides because it's not to help beards. It's not to make content to genuinely help. It's to say, hey, these younger people are more malleable. These younger people are more easily influenced with their purchases, and they got expendable income. And so all the content is created towards that, as opposed to just making content that helps. And so that really factors in and just kind of sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that just adds confusion, I think. You know what I mean? It's the difference of seeing like the real content that's out there, the real users of stuff versus like the machine that's creating markets for really, large companies.
Yep.
And those people are just in the business of taking people's money. I mean, that's all it is.
Straight up. And it's I don't like being negative. I don't. And when you see these posts like, oh man, we made GQ, and it's not genuine to me when you're saying, oh my gosh, such an honor, we made, like, you paid for it. You made it. You paid for it. They reached out to you and said, here's the cost. Would you like to be on this list? And you said yes. And you put in your bid and they'll say, hey, if you want to be first, you need this tier of payments. If you want to be, don't act like you're shocked and you're winning an Academy Award that you had no idea about. And so it kills me because all of the real helpful information gets lost in their platforms. They're so much bigger than something like my platform or your platform or someone else. And it just simply gets buried. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. The list with contradictory and irrelevant pros and cons are fun. Yeah, very fun.
Yeah, and like half of them are AI generated now too.
Oh, yeah, you're being generous there. You're super generous.
Yeah.
And with that too, Mr. Fleece has a good one. He says, is beard care taught at all in schools, maybe health class? Let me take you a couple steps further. Beard care, beard health, beard knowledge is not taught in any schools.
Not even in barber school, dude.
Not in barber school. You ready for another one where it's not taught in?
Dermatologists
do not learn about facial hair.
No.
I sat down with one, and they own one, and I asked them about their schooling and their understanding of facial hair because I was getting frustrated because people were going to dermatologists because maybe they had an ingrown hair or a pimple, and they would go there 100% of the time, not 99.9, zero exceptions. Every single time a beardsman has gone to a dermatologist, they encourage you to shave and apply a steroid. That is it. That is their totality of their solution, treating the symptoms and the cause all at once is shave and use steroids. So no, beard care, beard health, beard anything is not taught in any schools at all.
No.
And when you're talking about like health class, like, yeah, man, like, people agree, like, okay, yeah, fathers should teach their sons how to shave. That's a thing. You should teach them how to tie a tie. It's like beard care doesn't come across their mind. If you go to the store this winter for the holiday season, you're going to find kid shaving kits that are play kits.
Yep.
You're not going to find a beard care kit.
You're not going to find strap-on beards.
Right. And so it's...
Jack always jokes around with his friends saying, like, my dad is like a jack of all trades and a master of a lot of them. And he's like, the only thing my dad isn't going to be able to teach me how to do in life is shave.
Yeah, right.
My son's favorite joke. Like,
yeah, that's great. That is great. And our friend in Belgium says, love the new picture, by the way. I noticed it the other day. What's the best strategy for a neckline if you're going for a year? Keep the line above or even with the length of the beard, or don't trim at all? So this is up to you.
It depends.
Yep. I'm going to hit this and I'll kick it to Nick. A yeared is what you make it. There is a purist yeared, which removes or trims absolutely no hairs on your face. You're not touching the neck. You're not touching the mustache. You're not touching the cheeks. Nothing. That would be the actual purist yeared. Now, there are people that will do their neckline, will do their cheeks, maybe the mustache, but they're not taking away length. They're not taking away density. They're not taking away bulk. But other people would say, no, that's not a yeard. So, Nick, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it really is what it, I would say that there's two categories after being through, after my vast experience with one beard competition, I would say that the yeared, I think probably should follow, in my mind, the same kind of categorical, breakdown as a beard competition. You should have a groomed yeared and a natural yeared, right? So if you're going for natural yeared, what Dan just said, that's the definition of a natural yeared, right? You let your beard grow for a year and you see what it does.
Yeah.
Then I think there is I want to grow a beard for a year, but I still have a
professional job,
white collar job, or, I need to be, I need to look professional, or I can't look like a woodsman. Then I think that justifies, a groomed yeard, right? And I think your question definitely applies to a groomed yeard, right? So if you are planning on trimming and shaping and kind of like seeing what you can do with the topiary on your face in a year, then I think, it breaks into another depends answer, which is it depends on the shape you're going for, right?
Yep.
If you're going for that, if you're going for the Spartan beard look, right? That dictates a pretty high neckline up near your jaw. Your connectors are as short as your sideburns, and all of your length comes from your chin and your jawline, right? But then again, if like what you're going for is if you're gonna eventually want to grow out the length and have it all go down, you're gonna heat treat it and train it and have it go down, and you want like a boxy down shaped beard, then you probably want some neckline density so it's not transparent.
Yep.
Because you don't want that little thin curtain of jawline hair coming down and have nothing behind it, right? So I'd say it very much depends on the final look you're going for.
And I like your two terms, a natural yeared and a groomed yeared.
Yeah.
Dang it. Why are you guys giving me all these ideas today?
I think that's got to be a topic for you coming up. I mean,
absolutely. And Fleece, dude, spot on. He goes, I went to the dermatologist, essentially told him to shave down, use steroid cream. And then he goes, oh, and by the way, hydrocodone absolutely annihilated my beard. Yeah, that's going to just take all of the nutrients away from your beard. No doubt about that.
Hydrocortisone or hydrocodone? Because hydrocodone is Vicodin.
Yeah, that's still. Okay. I was thinking. What am I thinking of? What was the first one you said, Nick?
Hydrocortisone.
Okay.
That's the steroidal cream that you'll put, to knock down like dermatitis and stuff. I was just being a smart ass.
And how long to use stim oil until noticeable difference? So Jill says 90 days. I don't know if you have anything more to touch on that, Nick.
Yeah, I'd say 90 days to 6 months. Like there has been people that see results pretty quick, right? Obviously. But I think the real sample size window is between that 90-day and 6-month mark. 90 days for sure to give it a good try, though. I'd say if you're going to try it, at least give it 90 days and see if you see any marked improvement. And another thing on that, most importantly, you see yourself every day. Pictures are the most important tool you're going to have for any beard journey, right? Like you need to be able to see the progress side by side. You can't say like, okay, here's what it looks like now. Check. I'm going to check in the mirror here again in a couple of months, right? You gotta, maybe take like bi-weekly progress photos, like every 2 weeks, snap a photo and then, see what you look like after 12 weeks.
Yep. Okay, he was talking about the cream. That's what I thought he was, but yeah, you're right. That is a different thing. the name.
I mean, you could crush those bad boys up and smear them all over your face. I imagine it'll do something.
Right. Something's going to happen. Yeah.
Something's going to happen.
And as we wrap up here, guys, I don't want to cut anybody off, but we do have to run after this. Is applying the growth stim oil similar to a regular beard oil, just a few drops? Yeah, for sure. It's a thicker oil too. So if you're going to use it throughout your beard, just be proportionate with it. But yeah, no real difference as compared to beard oil, unless you have a beard like Nick and I, where we use a lot of oil. But yours is likely going to be very similar.
Yeah, what's funny is I was just wondering like how many uses you get out of one of the mystery out of the mystery bottles, and it's
Yeah.
like the same as our sample. I get exactly 2 uses out of those mystery, or not the mystery bottles, the little sample bottles,
Little
which is the ones
drams.
I'm using for the mysteries. But
Yeah.
you know, the little sample bottles, yeah, that's like those little vials. It's I think they're 5 milliliters. I get 2 uses.
So I get 1 use of beard and full body. So I double
Yeah.
up on it.
Yep. Yeah.
We're dry right now in Michigan. I don't know why, but my family's looking all scaly.
Look all ashy.
Yep. All right, guys. What a fun episode. That was seemed packed and just like so much information in the best way possible. And just so you guys know, we appreciate you. We love this. We always talk about how much we look forward to it and how much we enjoy it. We will be back next week. It's going to be an entire stream dedicated to those mystery oils and whatever other tangents we want to have. And if you guys forgot, please consider hitting that thumbs up on your way out and maybe tell a friend about the channel and the products if you don't mind today. Nick, final words?
Oh man, just thanks for being here with us, guys. This is another awesome Doctor's Orders episode number 84 in the books. Coming back for 85 next week, 1 o'clock, same time, same channel, same day. Well, not the same day, you know, an adjacent day, the same day, but next week. And we'll see you there.
All right, guys.